Hi, Original Soul. Welcome in. Welcome back. Thank you for showing up and bringing your energy to this reading. We'll jump into the oracle cards that I've got out, shall we? And then add some tarot to it to get a little more information. But some interesting energy out so far. So up at the top of the reading, got this card, Chaos, number 11. That serpent all slithered up on this card. So there may be a lot of chaos either going on in your mind or just in your world. And I think we all know there's a lot of crazy shit going on across the globe. So just thinking maybe interpersonally here, if you have any chaos going on right now in your life, or this again could just be sort of in your mindset and with your thoughts, because out of the dream deck we got this being chased card as well. So maybe there is something that you're kind of running from or avoiding, or just trying to escape in some sort of way. But this being chased card is running right directly into the solar eclipse change card, even though he's not looking at where he's going, but it does seem like change is coming regardless. So solar eclipse revolution number 44. We do have 11 and 44 out. Both of those are master numbers in numerology. So some sort of change, some sort of revolution or evolution is taking place. And this may be, something that comes up unexpectedly, or, maybe it's not necessarily so unexpectedly, but it's one of those things that ends up happening either because of the avoidance or because of a lack of a decision or something like that. I thought it was interesting too, in the book for this card, it did talk about how the ancients, when a solar eclipse happened, like they believed serpents were eating the sun. And that's where sort of this death and rebirth concept came about. So again, we've got that reference to snakes. So snakes may be coming up in your awareness, or a sign or synchronicity for you. And we have a lot of sort of this death and rebirth energy, cycle energy, change in this reading, definitely. What might be changing? I mean, maybe this has to do with your feelings or your mindset, because we also got this water element card. What is that? Number 40. And then 11th house, friends, number 35. Okay, so maybe there is some changes going on in your friend group or friend circle. This also could be more of a collective base, like you might belong to some sort of group or think about joining a group, right? Some sort of class, whatever that may be, or go to some sort of event. So, there could be change and evolution with your current friend group or friend cycles. Friend cycles? I don't know what that means, but it came out. Or maybe you're finding new groups to join, or kind of finding your tribe at this point in time. With the water element being in the heart of the reading, right, this is about letting your feelings take more control, maybe owning what your feelings are. I mean, that could be something that you've been avoiding or running away from even. All right, but letting your heart do some of the driving and steering instead of your logical mind. So maybe there is some change too in the way that you move forward, or what you're pursuing and why. So doing some things that are more heartfelt. You could be, really low on energy recently, or feeling a little bit lonely or outcast. So if that's out there for anybody, I've definitely been combating some sort of sickness, and my energy level has just been totally zapped. It's Been really challenging the last, at least like day 7 here. So if that's for anyone else out there too, so you may be going through either illness or, maybe your body is just processing something. Could be getting a lot of vivid dreams or information in your dreams as well. Maybe even, exploring or experiencing different things with spirit realm, psychic abilities, things like that as well. And then this 11th house card with friends, like I mentioned, it can be your friend group. It can be more of a collective thing as well. It could also have to do with if you have stepkids or you're dating someone and they have children, there could be something going on there as well. Okay. Then out of the herb deck, cyclicity, elderberry. Right, so different phases showing up on this card. Like I said, maybe things are changing and evolving. And again, that may be something that you're running from, or maybe not wanting to happen. But everything goes through phases, right? Life, friendships, relationships, right? You change, you have cycles as well. So this card also talked about like death and rebirth, which has come up in a couple of these. So definitely something with cycles going on in this reading. Out of spirit animal, 2 animals wanted to pop out. And I thought the message on kangaroo was really interesting. And the word at the top is cycle. But this seemed really specific. A 9-month cycle is at play. Your current project will take 9 months to mature and benefit you. Commit fully to it. You have all the strength and stamina you need as long as you move forward and not backward. Okay, so right away I thought of pregnancy, which fertility came up the last 2 weeks in these readings. Right, so maybe some of you are pregnant, getting towards the end of that pregnancy even, or somewhere along that. Or again, this mentioned some sort of project at some sort of cycle. Or again, maybe this is your own pattern or cycle, and it's just something that continues to happen. I don't know if you've ever noticed when you do try to avoid, run away, especially if this is from your own feelings, that's next to impossible to do, right? That just is a lot of pushing things down under the surface, but that doesn't mean they go away. So definitely getting more into a flow type of energy, right? How water still can get around any obstacles, and it does that quite easily, right? It doesn't have to take a lot of effort. It just sort of needs to surrender and go with the flow. The other spirit animal that we got, turkey, good news. You may soon receive an important but very unexpected gift, right? So change doesn't always have to be something negative. Maybe you've got a windfall of change coming in, something financial, or again, maybe there's some new sort of group or something in some sort of club or kind of collective nature that is really positive and really exciting type of change. All right, where did I leave off here? You may soon receive an important but very unexpected gift. Accept this with deep respect. Someone has sacrificed a lot to help you open doors and grow. A lot of things will change for the better. And one thing with all of these cards and all of this type of energy, especially with change and cycles, right, a lot of us don't really enjoy change. There are plenty of people who would be perfectly happy to have nothing ever change and have things stay exactly the same. I'm not necessarily one of those people, especially when you see things that are really unfair or chaotic or really just like nasty or negative, right? I'm all about change for in those sorts of areas. But that chaos and cycles and change, right? That snake is always moving. So it's not going to be permanent. even if this is where you're at right now. All right, let's see here. And then out of the Angel Tarot deck, we got Page of Pentacles, number 13, Aizelel. God sung above all. Loyalty and allegiance, friendship, and reconciliation. So take a good look at that angel. Could be a helpful angel to work with. Especially if you are having any challenges in friendships, or again, maybe you're finding some new people. And it did mention, right, it could be like an old friend that you haven't spoken to that maybe comes back around. So reconciliation is mentioned on this card, and friendship. So that may be a big theme going on for you right now. All right, let's see what Archangel Michael wants to add, and then we'll get some tarot with it. From Archangel Michael, your children are watched over by angels. My prayer, dear guardian angels of my children, born and unborn, thank you for watching over my children and ensuring their happiness and safety. Please guide me so that I know the best way to be a good parent and role model for my own and other people's children. Okay, so let me hold that one up a little bit close. Like I mentioned, possibly with pregnancy or having a baby, or like I had said, even stepchildren, or someone you're dating, other people's kids, right? So if there's anyone having a little concern or worry or maybe chaos in that realm, right, just know that angels are there helping and protecting. Okay. All right, let's add some tarot to it here. See what else wants to come out. Yeah, bringing in more compassion, especially if there's been a lack of compassion, or again, you've just been feeling sort of like kicked out a little bit, lonely, black sheep energy. Let's see what we get here. All right, we'll start with chaos, see what wants to come out. Ooh, the Fool. All right, so maybe you are ready to take a new beginning, or you have started out on some sort of new venture. This could be something, again, that you're even really excited about, but maybe that's stirring up a little bit of chaos, or there's uncertainty going on for you. And as Kangaroo was mentioning, don't go backward, keep going forward, right? So not letting fear take control, or that sort of slithering snake of that chaos, right? That's just temporary. All right, let's see here. Let's look at being chased. Right, trusting your heart with this new beginning that you're going after. All right, so 10 of Cups. There could be some sort of avoidance or running away from something to do with family. Right? We normally don't run away from happiness, so maybe this is a situation, that previously brought you happiness and that no longer is happening, or maybe you just have some sort of fear that that's changing. Also noticing a little baby here on this card. Right, so some sort of situation with family that is either, again, bringing in a little bit of fear, or that you're somewhat avoiding. Maybe you're avoiding your 10 of Cups. Like I said, we don't normally do but sometimes there are reasons, right? Your heart wants you to do one thing, but your brain is telling you something else. Maybe you feel what you want to do is causing a little bit of chaos, or might hurt or upset other people. All right, but don't avoid your happiness. Don't avoid what it is that you need, even if that means that things might change. So maybe some change going on with a family situation. All right, with Revolution, 6 of Wands. All right, so this is something that can bring you success, happiness. Picking up on the different ages or the different cycles. We've got young children. We'll call it, middle-aged, and then an older woman here. Right, so these could be sort of those cycles again about your own self. Right, she's holding flowers, handing one out, picking up on the dragons here. So snakes and dragons, and then kangaroos and turkeys. Got a wide range of animals here. But you may be seeing dragons as well. This is definitely, though, following your passion. You may have to use your strength and willpower. Right, one of the cards mentioned you have all the strength and stamina you need. Kangaroo was mentioning that. All right, so something is changing, but you've got this covered. You've got it under control, even if there is uncertainty. All right, let's see here with the water element. Like Turkey mentioned, good news, right? You could find out something is really successful that you weren't expecting, or this is something that you've been worried about or that you've worked on. Maybe you've even almost given up. And maybe that's the change, right? Something brighter, something better, something more successful, right? You may even be getting noticed by other people. You can see people in the background here clapping, right? All eyes on this center witch there. All right, let's see here. With water element sensing, we got the Queen of Swords. Let's see here. All right, so like I mentioned, following your heart, especially if that's something that you've been detached from. Doing some journaling or writing, or if you do automatic writing, may be really helpful right now. And this could even have to do with something that you're writing. Maybe it's something to do with poetry, music, art. Maybe you're into calligraphy. I'm just picking up on her feather pen and all the scrolls that she's got on that table there. This is also trusting your own self, not taking into account maybe whatever that chaos might be going on around you or within your mind, right? But just really knowing that you're the one that gets to make the decision, which last week our affirmation was, I am decisive. So maybe you have made that choice and this is now kind of the result of that. Again, there could be a lot of kind of feelings going on, uncertainty, all right? But just holding the course, holding your ground, and again, trusting your path, trusting what you've decided and what you know to be true. All right, let's see here. Let's get something with 11th house friends. By something that means 3. All right, 6 of Cups, Magician, 9 of Swords. Let me hold these up here. 6 of Cups can be about forgiveness. 9 of Swords is an anxiety-ridden card, sleepless nights. I did mention you could be getting some stuff coming up in dreams. I actually dreamt about someone last night that I haven't spoken to in quite a long time. I don't normally dream about this person, so that was kind of interesting. But you could have some anxiety over kind of what's being manifested. As Angel Aizelel mentioned with friendship and reconciliation, right? Maybe someone is coming back from the past, or just some sort of, it could be a relationship, a person, or just something from even your childhood, whether that's a memory, right? It's something to do with family, like I mentioned, could be coming back up to the surface. There could be a need to bring in a little compassion, especially just for yourself, even if that's something that may be harder to find for the other person, and bringing in a little bit of forgiveness into that situation. And this could have to do with children. And there could be some anxiety or fear about what's coming up or what has been manifested. All right, but you do have all the tools, you do have all the strength. Again, as Kangaroo mentioned, that's coming up a couple times here, to get through whatever this might be. Right? Maybe you hear from someone and you weren't really wanting to hear from that person. Right? Or maybe this is a situation that you have kind of been avoiding for a really long time. All right, and that could just be bringing, like I said, a little bit of stress. She's sort of like, looks like she's kind of spinning or tugging at her hair. Even her feet look like she might be sort of just fidgeting around. There's also a lot of books open here. So like I mentioned, doing some journaling. And knowing that you are protected here, right? Do your self-care, take care of yourself. So yeah, there may be some sort of issue popping back up. And maybe this happens once you start down this new path and you're kind of heading towards your new journey, heading towards your new thing. And then all of a sudden, right, these people kind of pop back up out of nowhere, or right, whatever that feeling or emotion that you've tried to push down or away starts to rear its ugly head. All right, but the best way to handle that is to actually take a good look and deal with it. And remembering you are the magician. All right, so you can manifest happiness over anxiety. You can trust, right, this new beginning that you're starting and wanting to go down, trusting your heart, being the Queen of Swords here, doing what you know is best for you, and maybe take out a little bit of that anxiety or worry about how this impacts everyone else. I really do believe if you are acting and working in your highest good, that it really does end up turning out best for everyone involved. Right? Sometimes you might be a lesson for somebody else. Right? So there may be a need to, maybe you're cutting someone out, or, not accepting someone back into your life. Or maybe you're just worried about the same thing happening if you do reconcile or take someone back. All right. Let's see here with cyclicity and elderberry. All right, Ace of Wands here. And on this card too, as I was mentioning, maybe you're writing something or doing some sort of art or poetry, or even music. Noticing the paintbrush, the book. Maybe you have a lot of different ideas. And you've started something here. Right, notice if that is even a cycle maybe that you get into as well, where maybe you start something new, but maybe you tend to not finish that. Right? Maybe you use, again, journaling or art to help kind of calm or quell some of that anxiety. Also got a white feather in this card as well, so maybe you see white feathers this week. Right, and that's you as a sign that you can trust your intuition, right? And you're protected by spirit. All right, let's see here. We'll get one here with kangaroo, which also says cycle. Knight of Swords. All right, so Knight of Swords, again, this could be you kind of going after that this new beginning that you might be finding, or whatever this kind of venture, or right, maybe this is a type of club or organization that you kind of join and get yourself out there as well. So moving forward and not backward, this is being determined is the word I'm getting. So really using determination. Right, you're not going back to that fear. You're not going back to the worry. You don't want to go back to just running and avoiding. right? So this is being determined, just using your determination and boldness as you move forward. Okay, let's see here with good news. Maybe that is a new way to be for you, right? Maybe you've been a little bit of a doormat, or with this water card here, right? Maybe you let everything flow around you. Maybe you don't always stand up for yourself or stand up for what you want. So, right, tapping into this sword energy, again, being determined, right? Knowing that, right, the choices you're making are the right choices. All right, with good news here, we've got the Chariot. All right, so maybe this new beginning does have you, again, kind of going away from something familiar. Maybe you're actually moving or relocating as part of this as well. Feel like you're really getting insight or inspiration on which direction to go. Ready to start a new cycle with whatever this possible artistic expression might be, or whatever you're passionate about, right? Tapping into your heart space and moving in that direction. I love the little scarf with this cat in the sidecar here. But some sort of good news about your path. Maybe you were feeling unsure. Look how she's looking up at those signs, this way or that, not really sure which way to go. Right, but some sort of news or some sort of message coming in that really has you knowing, right, which way to kind of rev up that bike, which way to start driving. Yeah, because the Two of Swords, maybe you feel like you were kind of just throwing things blind at this dartboard, but look at how she still got the bullseye. So like I said, with your intuition, being decisive, being determined, right, through whatever this possible new beginning is, new venture. Again, a little bit of chaos, but remembering, right, that's always moving. It's not going to stay that way forever. All right, what a super interesting reading. It feels honestly really positive. Once you're able to maybe kind of take a look at or deal with whatever, right, this card might be referencing here, or whatever this chaos may be. All right, so let's come up with an affirmation to work with for the week. A lot of things seem like they're changing, right? Evolving or revolving. So like I said, maybe something is coming back up, but you're more equipped to deal with it now, right? So stay determined, stay focused, trust yourself, right? All through whatever this cycle or this change may be, right? Just knowing that you're protected and you've got it covered. All right, so affirmation for the week. How about this? I embrace change. What do you think about that? You embrace change. Maybe you even instigate change. All right, so what could you do this week to go with the flow a little bit more, still while staying determined, right? Going after your happiness, trusting yourself. When things come up that feel chaotic, or when change presents itself, right? Especially if it's quick or shocking or unexpected. You know, what can you do to embrace that? Could you maybe take a step back from whatever maybe your normal reaction might be, whether that's running away altogether, avoiding. Sometimes I like to put my head in the sand for a couple days and then pop back out and see if everything's okay. Right, so how could you be a little more determined through that? Allow change to come in, right? Get a little bit more in that flow energy, right? But how water can go around obstacles. Water can get through change, right? Easily and effortlessly. right? And so can you. All right, so that is the affirmation. That's the message that we have. We embrace change, especially if this change is good, right? Do not shut out good changes. Do not shut out good news. Do not shut out, maybe new groups or new people, right? So embracing that change as it comes and see what that does for you this week. Okay, so that is the message that we've got. I definitely hope there was something here for you. If there was, please feel free to let me know. Leave me a like, leave me a comment. Maybe you let me know how this might fit for you, if that's something that you're willing to share. I'd love to hear about it. But yeah, that's what we've got. Until next time, peace.